All right, everybody, we're here. We're live again. Always. No, not always, but most of the time. We're here. We're live. My week's been like whatever. Haven't really done much. The, me and our good friend of the show, Romalo, last night, we just went to go see Craven. For
Was it
some
as
reason.
bad as I think it was gonna be?
Yeah, it's probably it's
Oh
somehow
man.
worse than like Madam Web. Like, I thought being rated R and this like weird like Jungle Man stuff would be like sick, but that's
Right.
like there's not enough bloody violence to even make it fun. It's just boring. It's like
Sony
somehow
can't win for losing.
no. Exactly. I don't know. It fucking blows. Do you guys see the new Karate Kid trailer though?
No.
Karate
Not
Kid
at all.
Legends
No.
No.
with Ralph Macchio, Jackie Chan, and this new kid. Fucking looks
Stop it.
fucking bananas. It's intense.
Like it looks good.
Yeah, it takes place in New York City. Jackie Chan like comes to like the Miyagi-Do and it's just like we need your help.
Yo,
LaRusso.
is it like a Cobra Kai like spinoff?
No,
Is Daniel San the new Miyagi?
I mean that I don't know because we haven't finished season 6 because it's not finished yet. But I know it doesn't connect to Cobra Kai. Like it is canon apparently. Ralph Macchio says it is canon, but it doesn't connect that way. Like I think Ralph Macchio is the only person that's gonna really cross over.
Well, he sucks in Cobra Kai.
I
But
mean,
So how's that gonna work out?
like how far are you, Liz, in Cobra Kai? Are you
Uh,
current?
no, I'm not current. Does he
Okay.
not suck later?
He
I mean-
doesn't suck. He sucks again. He sucks a little less, and then he's kind of okay.
well, right now he's finding out a big mystery.
Yeah. Right now he is he is finding out the world's greatest mystery.
I
Who
love the Ben
died?
Johnson explanation.
Who
He
died?
sucks, he doesn't suck. He sucks again.
A little less, and then he's kind of okay. Um, it is one of those deals though where it's like somebody died in the big tournament that's got a goofy name. So it's somebody died in the Sekai Kai or what's it called the
Yeah, whatever you're calling it, I'm gonna go with that.
yeah, it's
Their
it's
blood
got this
sport.
weird name. But the person who died was fighting was Mr. Miyagi. So at the end of their fight, this guy was dead. Now Daniel is trying to figure out if Miyagi killed him, if Mr. Miyagi is a murderer or not, or oh, maybe he punched him just right and the guy had a fucking heart attack or something. Who knows? Like who knows?
And
You
then,
know what I mean?
no spoilers, but then something happens too at the end, which kind of
Do-
relates back.
and look, what we really should do is a Cobra Kai spinoff of
Yeah.
this entire thing because and we should have Lindsay back on.
Yeah.
But legit, I am at a point though with this show that I am enamored and deeply frustrated by this by Cobra
That's
Kai
when you
in
gotta
general.
See this new fucking Karate Kid trailer. It's fucking epic. They make it as like
Can't wait
epic
to
as
see it.
possible.
Immediately after this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, actually, no. Now I do remember because Dwayne's here in the chat. Actually, we played fucking Portrait Payback on Thursday. Dylan Greenberg's video dome raised $300 that night for her friend, which is great.
Very nice. That's awesome. And especially like headed into the holidays.
Yeah, so someone gets to eat for the next month, which is nice. And yeah, playing it was sick. People love it. This chick next to me was like, every time Reeves spoke Spanish, fucking lost her mind. Like it was amazing. Yeah,
I didn't know that Reeves speaks Spanish. Does
don't-
he actually, or does
No,
he just
he
in the movie?
Reeves sold. In the John Wick world, everyone speaks Russian, but I didn't know anyone who spoke Russian. But I know Reeves knows how to speak Spanish, so I just make Reeves speak Spanish in the entirety of the movie.
That's great.
While
And-
dressed
Can't
as
wait to
Orange
see it.
Cassidy. So
And
he's just
he is basically like the Orange Cassidy
yeah.
of the group.
So he's dressed like Orange Cassidy and just speaks Spanish the whole time.
Jeans and all?
All of it. Yeah, he has the shirt that's an
Wow.
Infinite Reeves shirt, you know, with the aviators.
That's great.
But
But
yeah,
how was that?
Sorry,
how,
my-
like
my
overall,
lip ring got
the
stuck in
screening
the
was
cup.
very good.
Yeah, it was great. Everyone was losing their mind. Somebody asked me to play it on public access, so I'm working on that. Get on public access TV. Even though I don't know who watches
Yes.
public access anymore, but that would be, sick.
You would
Mommy.
be surprised. We have people here in Nashville that watch the NECAT channel religiously, our public access.
100%. Like public access is still very much a thing, and I would challenge that it's gotten weirder and weirder.
Well, I did that one public access show with Jimmy. That one, I forget what show he was on, but he did a show on public access, like a talk show deal. It's not on anymore, but I remember I was on a couple episodes doing that show.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It's the one that sort of spawned the Chris Gethard show. I
it was like
forget
that
the
vibe.
name now too.
But the screening was great. Everyone was fucking and some other guys apparently was like, "Oh, I'm doing some action thing in spring." I was like, sick. And obviously we're pushing Steeler Fest the whole time, getting people ready for that.
Oh.
It's coming
I
in.
cannot wait. I'm coming up, by the way. You know that,
Yeah,
right?
I hope so. I hope so. Everyone comes. I hope so. You can make it too, Liz. You got to worship your heavy metal
When will
god.
this be?
February 3rd.
Okay.
We're all coming together to worship our heavy metal god.
To bow at the feet
Yeah.
of the one true werewolf maniac.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like king of the creature features. We are there. You know what I'm saying? Like
Part werewolf, part the
I'm
devil
very
himself.
excited for it.
Yeah, it's gonna be epic. We got bands, the debut of Steelers, Knights and Steelers service. It's gonna be great. All the movies. This will be the first theatrical screening ever of the Outback of the Outback Slasher Orders of Pizza ever. It's one of Dwayne's earliest YouTube videos.
I gotta tell you too, it's one of those things that I found like it was introduced to me, and I saw that, and I was like, I had met Dwayne on hashtag Shakespeare Shitstorm,
Nice.
and then I was introduced to his YouTube channel and shown the Outback Slasher.
Yeah, that's how
and
we all get introed, man. You can't know Dwayne without watching the Outback Slasher Orders
And
Pizza.
then you see that, and it's like, I like completely enamored. It is low key one of the scariest and funniest things both at the same time.
Yes,
like
our
nails
Dark
it to a wall.
Now, yeah, I can't wait to put it on the big screen for the first time ever. And he'd be selling
On
his
the big
art
screen.
too. Obviously Dwayne's gonna be there selling his art. Giving out. So there'll be a bunch
Cool.
of shit, a bunch of merch, bunch of fun stuff going out there. And I can't wait. It's kind of insane that it's happening. I still don't believe that we're doing it. It's like, oh yeah, we are doing it. I'm literally
Where's it going to be at?
here in Brooklyn, Our Wicked Lady, and Our Wicked Lady is closing down, so we can not only you get to come to this epic festival, but then we can save Our Wicked Lady, save the venue.
Oh shit! So
Awesome.
this venture is twofold.
Yeah, and it's also
I
like
had
2
no-
days before my birthday, so this is
How many days before your birthday?
2 days.
I'll stick around for your birthday, James.
James,
There-
are you an Aquarius?
I am.
Wow, that makes sense.
Yes, I don't know what the fuck that
That
means.
makes total sense.
What am I, Liz? What do you think I am?
God bless.
No, seriously. Come with it. This is my favorite thing.
Honestly, you're
Honestly.
somewhere like, I want to say that because a lot of you means business, but a lot of you is goofy as fuck. So,
Okay.
like, it could go either way. I see you in my realm at times in like a Pisces type way.
Okay.
But then sometimes I see you, like, I could definitely see you as one of the louder signs too, like a Leo or um, Sagittarius, Taurus the bull, something like that. What are you?
Okay. I am.
Nothing.
I am beyond time. I am beyond
Make
the
me choke
zodiac.
on my ludens. God.
No, I'm a straight up Cappy, like through and through.
Shut up. You are not a Capricorn.
110.
You know,
January
I'm
4th,
an asshole, though.
January 14th, baby. Oh, no,
Reeve
I
says
am.
that all this like whatever it's called, these signs are really just like racism for women.
It is. Big time. Big time. We judge.
Yeah.
We judge harshly.
That is one of the greatest things I have
Yeah,
ever
I've never
heard.
been able to look at it the same. Every time a
No,
girl
but-
now asks me what sign I am, I'm
Too
like
sweet to
afraid.
be Capricorn.
But that's the thing. So that's the deal with us is like we go hard for the people who go hard with and for us. Problem is, and this is where like I identify 110% is like I'm quick to sever ties and be fine with it. Like I'm so good with that. You guys don't even know. And then it's like so I follow a bunch of like weird sort of Cappy meme pages because I'm a weird Cappy. And I cannot tell you how many times I look at a thing and I'm like, yeah, no, that's me. Click, and then I turn it off and I go, but I am. I'm
Are you a nerd with money too?
Have you not seen
That's
the Ghostbusters, the Ecto One behind Ben somewhere? Like,
I mean, she's right over there. Yeah, I weirdly am but that's a whole other realm. But like I compartmentalize things, like I get into it all. And yeah, money's one of those deals. Money it's
what is Jen? What is Jen's sign?
so she's a Taurus.
God bless her.
And the fucked thing is, like this is what's fucked up, is that if you really start looking at sort of those comparisons, the two of us are arguably one of the better matches. One of the better, stronger matches. Like, not even playing. And then Virgo, my best friend, Justin, a guy I've known my entire life, Virgo all day. Also,
Brandon
one of
too. See, I mean, it's to the T. Virgos are to the T.
So it's one of those deals where it's like I don't put a lot of stock in it, but at the same time, I kind of can't deny a lot of it. So yeah. It's very much so. Me, Dave Grohl, Howard Stern, Lloyd Kaufman,
Jesus.
Jesus Christ, his own self. You're right. I'm in very good company.
well, we're also in very good company today because Liz is back, everyone.
Yeah.
I know you've been listening to her talk, but what's up, Liz? How's it going? I know you sound a little sick today.
I have strep, and I have some kind of like mutant strep where I had treatment last week. Like I had a shot of antibiotics that didn't kill it. So I went in this morning to get tested again because I'm like, man, I still feel like shit. And they're like, you
Yeah.
still got it. There's this mutant strep
Doesn't
going
that
around
suck?
here.
Like in like real life, that like mutant strep, like it just makes you sick. You know, like if you're in like the X-Men, you're like, oh, I got mutant, strep. You'd be fucking hawking crazy loogies at people. It's like,
How cool would that be?
Yeah.
Like in a toad way.
yeah.
But no, I don't have that. I have lay in the bed and be miserable. Mutant strep. But hopefully it'll be gone soon. So I apologize. This is one of the rare times that I'm actually live on camera and I don't have makeup on or anything and just kind of look like garbage. So I do apologize for that, but I did want to be on this, especially for James Gunn.
Hell yeah.
You don't need
Yeah.
it. You look great. Life is good, and God bless.
Life is good.
Like, we're
Life
very
is good.
happy.
Like,
How-
think about the worst of the worst situations that any of us have, and then I'm like, wow, it's really not that bad. It's not as bad as we want it to be. You know?
Things could
So-
be worse.
Significantly. But the big question I have, last time we talked to you a couple of weeks ago, you were in the process of a move.
Oh, that's right. Your background does look different.
Yeah. So I'm like 3 weeks into that,
Wow.
and we're mostly settled, thanks to Brandon, because he's very OCD, so he couldn't sit while a box was
Is he like,
unopened.
I have to make sure this calendar goes up on this wall
Mhm.
right now.
Nonstop, and it was like that for a good the first week. But we're almost there. We're just not quite there, and it's good. I like Gallatin a lot. I didn't think that I would, but I do. I like the little square.
Yeah,
and I like
the
little
square
shop.
is fun. There's like that ice cream shop that's over there. That's
Mhm.
pretty good.
You been to Gallatin?
Yeah, thanks to this fucking guy. We worked on a movie. What, at the bank, right? Wasn't that Gallatin?
So James has actually been in and around the Gallatin Square a number of times.
Yeah.
No way.
We shot Curse of the Weirdeer here, but what he's referencing right now is in the reenactment we shot at the bank on the square that's right next to, it's right across from the courthouse, right across from all the antique stores and Sweeney Swift. It's like legit right across the street from that.
Bank with the pillars?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
no, not with the pillar. It's across from the courthouse, the main courthouse on the square. It's right beside like the attorney's offices and
Okay.
Black Press.
I know where that is.
It might
Wow.
have columns. It might have
And
columns.
the city of Gallatin allowed you to do that
Well,
without coming in and burning you at the stake?
Yeah.
so
Without getting a
with the
thong girl law.
reenactment, that was not us.
Yeah. Yeah, we were just hired guns that time.
That was friends of the show, Andrew Ford and Eli Osmond, that made their movie there. Us, they would not have allowed anywhere near it. But they had what we call a budget. But yeah, no, James has been through a couple of times. Yeah, you forget he came down for Weird Years. So like Gallatin was
I'm
the
right behind
spot.
the square. That's where we're at. And, Big Dan's just stones through now,
Girl,
down the way.
and me. I ain't
And
even
you.
Yeah.
I ain't even 12 minutes from you.
That's awesome.
Look at you guys
So-
all living closer together. I'm
And
still.
legit,
I know.
we should get together either at like Phillies or like Sweeney Swift or something on the square at some
We
point.
should. Brandon's really wanting to go to that Sweeney Swifts because he's 100% for the retro stuff. I don't think that stuff's been touched since like the 50s, right?
Strike. Absolutely wrong.
Oh.
When I was a kid, let me old man like finger shame you right quick. When I
Definitely
was
a Gallatin transplant.
when I was a kid, Sweeney Swift was the pharmacy. It was the local drugstore, like 110. So if you're on that same stretch as Sweeney Swift, if you're on that and you go up to it's like Old Time Treasures or something like that, I forget the name of it exactly, but it's that antique shop. My family owns that building. We own that
Is that the
building.
haunted one?
Yes.
Okay.
So we
Your
own that
family
building.
owns a haunted building? I didn't even know that.
A
Bro,
haunted antique shop.
Damn.
Like there's like the spirit of a little girl in that antique shop.
Like the Warrens.
Liz knows. So the whole thing there is like we used to have like a clothing shop there when I was a kid. I would go to Swaney Swift, and like that's where I would pick up like those old watercolor coloring books or whatever, where you just pour water on the page and then mix shit around and pretend like you colored a thing. That's where I got those from, and like I hung out there, but it was an old school drugstore. Closed down sometime in the
Was
mid
it like a
2000s.
Woolworths? Something
No.
like that?
It was legit just like a straight up pharmacy. Like it was a no budget Winco.
Wow.
Or not Winco. What's the one I'm thinking of? Walgreens. It was like
Okay.
that. So you'd go in, you could get like your hair color, you could get your feminine hygiene, you could get your pharmacy, you could get your kids' coloring books, and your snacks. That's all it had. and cigarettes. You could always pick up cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
Need them cigarettes.
A staple of any good pharmaceutical,
Why
spot.
have you've never written a film based on the haunted antique shop? Like that's gold just waiting. to be
Uh,
picked.
well, again, like so when we, oh my god, so when we got the building, it had been vacant for a while, and then it had this upstairs. And my dad, when I was a kid, we used to sell clothing. And he would travel. He would hit all the states that touch Tennessee. So he was a traveling salesman. He would hit all these various little stores, but he was the hub for where they would get their stuff. So he would make his orders or whatever. He'd go out, he'd sell it, deliver, all of that shit. And then he wanted to do like a brick and mortar. So he did his brick and mortar, set all that up. After school, I would go there and be up top because there's a little upstairs. There was a little TV room. I would sit and hang out. Like it's wild. And I'm not gonna lie, it can be a place with an atmosphere at a certain time of night. I don't recall anything. Not to say it's not true, but up and down that square, like I ran. To put it in the vernacular, I ran train on that square. Like I was a staple from like 87
Oh, that
to
Ben
about
Johnson boy.
from 87 till about like 93. Like you couldn't get away from like a weird little Ben Johnson running up and down that square.
Well, back then they didn't have all the built up Main Street and all that jazz. Didn't they just have the square?
So it was mostly the square. So me and Jen moved back in like 2017, and I was still shocked when I came back then at how much Gallatin had changed. Like how much it had changed. If you guys haven't been yet, Prince Street Pizza, baller.
We went to Prince Street Pizza before we moved to Gallatin, and
right.
we tried to go last weekend, and they were so packed we couldn't get a parking spot. So we ended up going to El Rey Azteca Mexicana, and it was spectacular.
I'm a fan of El Rey. Fan of El Rey. Garcia's is very good. We'll talk offline.
Yeah, it sounds like great restaurants to visit.
I got spot. This is actually to our audience, Dwayne, everybody in the chat. I hate to tell you this, but we are changing this to Gallatin, Tennessee, Toonular tonight. That's all it's going to be.
Gallatin Toonular.
It's all just going to be Gallatin-based information. Tired of hearing about Brooklyn.
Poor James.
I'm over it. Tired of Brooklyn.
You want to
Myrtle
hear
Pub.
about
I didn't even talk about
redneck-
Brooklyn once.
Myrtle Pub can
Yes.
suck it.
I didn't-
It's all
Myrtle
about
Pub's-
Prince Street, baby.
Look, say everything you want about Brooklyn. Leave Myrtle Pub out of it, all right? It's my safe zone. My safe space.
But it's good you guys are getting settled and that it's moving in the right direction, Liz. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about it. We're finally in a place that's ours, if that makes sense. But because before, that wasn't something that we had moved into together, and we've moved into a place together. So it's different. It feels like it's ours.
Oh, that's like
Yeah, that's sweet.
official.
Yeah.
How are the kitties taking it?
They love it. They're blasting their music and shit in their bedrooms and keeping the doors shut. And right now I can hear them on PS5 in the living room. It's Brandon calls it Def Comedy Jam. They just cuss. Like, it's just nonstop. Like, how many F-bombs can my 15-year-old blow out? Like,
Probably.
let's just start counting them by the hour. But they love it. And it's where we're at. There's really not much commotion. It's not like Hendersonville where there's, in that way, it kind of sucks where you can't just leave your house and you're right there. In Hendersonville, we left our house and we were everywhere. We had our choice of anything we wanted to do. Now it makes it a little bit more special, I guess, because we have to plan it. We have to want to go there and plan it.
And the thing is, even though you do everything, is like it's still one of those deals. Like, I stay out in the country, so I'm gonna tack on another 10. For me, it's like 20 minutes. 20 minutes to hit Kroger, 20 minutes to hit downtown, closer to 12. But at the end of the day, where you are, like that's got to be like 10 minutes. There's a theater in town. It's probably 15 from where you are. There's the comic book shop that's even just down on the square. There's like,
Is that
there's
decent? The comic book shop. We passed by it the other day, but they weren't open yet.
That's what you're gonna deal with on the square. Like, that's what you're
That's what
gonna
I
deal
remember.
with.
You're like, oh, let's go here. Oh, it's closed.
Oh, it's closed.
It's very European in that way. It's like, oh, here is 5 hours. Figure it out. Oh, you don't make it. You come tomorrow.
Well, I found out that the Walgreens here on the square, off the square on Hartsville Pike, is closed on the weekends. Why in the hell?
Yeah.
How in the hell can a Walgreens be closed on weekends? That's insane.
I thought Walgreens were like 24 hours.
Right. I thought that was mandatory.
There's still yet another one up towards like the McD's that's like that one's 24. So if you look at that one or the other one, send your scripts to the one that are not the one you're going to.
Okay.
Send everything there. Because but that gets into a whole other thing of like franchising and whatever, it's one of those things where it's, the McDonald's in participating locations, not every location has to participate. Yeah.
Yeah. And we do have the Palace. I don't know of anything happening at the Palace Theater other than we had that fantastic Curse of the Weirdeer screening.
Yeah.
But is there ever going to be anything else happening at the Palace?
So I don't know. So what they do largely, like they'll do some stage shows, people rent it out. Like it's largely preserving the theater. There should be more. If you ever really get bored, if you ever really get bored, hit me up because I think there are some things we could do locally that would be fun.
Be awesome.
Yeah, Ben Johnson, what the fuck? What have you been up to? What are you doing?
Talking. Taking over this entire thing, James. No, I'm not gonna lie. I'm 232s deep on the high life. I'm in a good mood. like life is good. No. So I'll run down. We talked after our show in Oregon, I got a final count. 130 people came out to see
Fuck
Curse of the
yeah.
Weird Deer. Massive turnout, very successful. The sound was beautiful.
Yeah.
I lowballed it. I kept telling Jen, I was like, I don't know, it was maybe 50 people. 130 people came out. We got accused of plagiarism this weekend.
What?
Which
No way. For what?
Yeah, for
I got
what?
a good one for you. I got a note on Instagram from a guy. I won't tell you his name. I'll tell you the name of his work. You can look this son of a bitch up if you want to. I don't care. So I get a note from a guy who's like, hello, congratulations on your screening. Your movie bears a strong resemblance to a comic book that I've been working on I have scripts that go back for 7 years called Night of the Were Elk. Okay.
What?
Now,
Also,
everything
having
else
script is a
sort of-
lot different than having a movie.
Everything is paraphrased from here. Night of the Were Elk is a comic book that he's been working on. That comic book was not published until March of 2024. He's trying to say somehow we not only stole his idea.
Do you know this guy at all? Is there any
I
connection?
know nothing of this person. Nothing of this person. He goes on to say in his note, and I'll get to the material in a second, but he goes on to say in his note that I find it impossible to believe that you came up with this concept organically. My comic has been available in shops around town. Around town is what he used. We screened in Portland. How insular, how small is your worldview that you think the entire world exists in Portland? Do you know what I'm saying? like how sheltered are you? Are there no other countries? Are there no other cities, dear sir? Dear sir, Knight of the Were Elk cocksucker. So,
What was your response?
so
You just call him a cocksucker?
I didn't, bro. I was so pro. You don't even know.
Can you use that as one of the ratings now? Can you clip that and use it as one of the R ratings?
I literally should. So what he does though is he goes on to say, I think it's impossible that you came up with this organically. We've been featured something about like our comic has been talked about in the same circles as your film. I don't know what circles you're talking about.
It's not trauma related, right?
Say what?
Is the comic trauma related?
No,
Oh,
not at all.
Looking at it now.
It's from some shitfuck comic in Portland, Oregon. I think that's the name of it, actually, is Portland, Oregon shitfuck comics. I don't know what you call it. So then he goes on to say that, like, it bears striking resemblances. You couldn't have come up with this on your own, blah, blah, blah. I immediately pop back with, I'm a Tennessee filmmaker. Our idea came about while driving through the countryside late one night and seeing field full of deer. In 2020, we shot a concept trailer. Our film is based on nothing but our concept trailer. I have not heard of you. He referenced a local magazine called Exotic. I don't know what Exotic is. Found out Exotic is the local titty bar rag. So like it's a thing to promote titty bars to other titty bars with information about who's stripping at what titty bar. It's the great, and occasionally they'll pop off with like local weird obscure stuff. All right, cool. A little research gives me that. So I come back to him with everything. Our writer
does he,
is from
cite,
New Jersey.
Like anything in particular? Like he's like, oh, mine also has a ton of gay sex and.
So no, he cited nothing. I end the whole thing. I end my whole, like, here's how we came up with our concept and what we did. I asked him point blank, have you seen the film? He hadn't even watched it. Somebody was gaslighting this motherfucker into reaching out. Oh, they stole your idea. They stole your concept. They stole your whatever. They gaslight this sumbitch into reaching out to me. He does. And then do you know what he does? He's like, oh, that sounds great. Whoops. Sorry. Hey, send me your address. I'll send you my comics. Ha, ha, ha. Like everything was cool.
Nah.
Well, let me tell you something. I have never left the son of a bitch on red quicker than I left this guy on red. Do I want your comic books? No. Am I stupid enough to send you an address? Never. Eat my ass. Eat my ass. Night
So
of the
he's
Werewolf.
going off solely just of the name, which is like, also there are like a tons of were bullshit that exist.
Do
And
you
there's
know
like
who I've
another
not heard
were-deer.
from yet? I haven't heard from Wallace and Gromit, Curse of the Were-Rabbit. Never heard from them. Haven't heard from any of the werewolf people, even the other were-deer.
Yeah.
I have not heard from. Do you know why? People can't own lycanthropy. I mean, you can't own a concept that is basically as old as time. Are you going to own the Wendigo? Are you going to go back and sue American Werewolf in fucking London? No, you're not. Why? Because you're stupid. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It made me very, very mad. Like that's the thing.
And yeah, man, to backtrack immediately just shows how much of a little bitch he is.
Bro, he
Yeah.
like on his back, like a little turtle. You put a little turtle on its back, his little leggies was kicking. Like, it was the funniest thing. Left unread. Fuck you.
Though I would take it also as a compliment, man. You know, like, what I strive so hard to is, like, I just want one cease and desist letter from, like, you know, the John Wick people. You know what I mean? Like, for someone to come at you like that, it means, you know, you got some steam. Like, you pissed off someone. Somebody watched it somewhere, and there's some sort of attention that got thrown your way, which is great.
You haven't made it till you get haters.
Yeah.
I will not disclose who, but I did send it to our distributors. And a friend of mine said, if they want to put their money where their mouth is, this would be hysterical.
Yeah, dude.
And then when I sent back their response, they said, you know what? Published in 2024. Maybe we send them a cease and desist letter. So that's been my excitement this week. That has been, and it's weird to me too that these people, they think they come up with these concepts with these monsters, and then they want to go on the attack. It's like there's some kind of fucking like creature commandos, and I don't fucking get it.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're here. We're talking creature commandos. Only the first 3 episodes. Only 3 episodes came out. And after doing my 9-hour binge last week with our good friend Nicole, I was like, I need something shorter. And tomorrow actually, not even tomorrow is there a new episode coming out, but the Superman trailer drops tomorrow.
Oh, I hope we see the boss in it.
So I can't say who told me, because I know what his cameo is. I can't say, what friend of the show. It may rhyme with Juan Burgos.
Former flatmate Juan Burgos.
Yeah. Told me that Lloyd's cameo is one of the cell phone people that you do see in like the teaser for a bit. I didn't see him in it, but the shots that I was described kind of match the shot they kind of put out already of like all the people with their cell phones looking up at Superman. So there's a chance Mr. Mixelplex might show up.
Mr. Mixelplex shows up. That's hysterical. Again, greatest missed opportunity unless.
Yeah, we're still there. But yeah, so I don't know. What are your guys' first thoughts? Because this is James Gunn's. Technically not his first, because it still ties into Suicide Squad and Peacemaker.
Right.
But this is still officially like the new continuity. Like officially. Yeah. So I don't know. What are your thoughts going into this new DC, this James Gunn right now?
Stoked for it. And starting, like, this was announced What, last year?
It was a while ago. And actually, James Gunn
You
said he
know?
wrote this before he even took over DC, which kind of makes sense because it feels like just a sequel to Suicide Squad.
Yeah. And this just makes sense for him because he loves that world so much.
Yeah.
So to go back into the world of X, and now they can't, that the whole thing is they can't use prisoners anymore
Yeah.
to experiment on. Let's get Inhumans.
Yeah.
So that's it's perfect.
So I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it's moving in a good spot. I think Creature Commandos, it while very much for adults and very much through Max and whatever, and it comes with, all the so far all the sexy stuff and the obscenity you would expect.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like it still weirdly feels like an old cartoon show, like and the fact that they are playing with this sort of menagerie of monsters plucked and pulled from different sort of eras and times. You've got the Nazi killing robot. You've got the
GI.
Bride of Frankenstein. You've got the gender flipped Shape of Water. You've got like all of that stuff happening, and like I really I dig it. It feels sort of like a weird like late 60s, mid 70s sort of old cartoon show.
Some of their style. Rick Flag feels like he's pulled from like one of those kind of shows.
He feels almost like Hannibal from the A-Team.
Yeah.
In a lot of
Very
ways.
much so. That's a great way to put it.
Like
a sexier cartoon version of Hannibal.
Right. Without the big smelly cigar.
Yeah.
So I dig where it's coming from is the thing, and I know in today's day and time you have to do like sort of the big build on who the team is and like the backstories on character and all of that. But there are moments in this where I was like, this could be out of Scooby-Doo. It could be. Do you know what I mean? Like, does that make sense?
You mean like
is that
stylistically? Like, what do you mean? Yeah, explain it further.
So what I'm saying is, it's like how the team sort of like comes together. There'll be moments where they're off on their little things, but when they all come together, I almost half expect somewhere in this show later to include a big hallway full of doors and people's heads to be popping out of it.
Yeah, okay.
Like that doesn't feel like out of the realm of possibility in this.
No.
Like it's got real cartoony elements to it that I find very,
but
very
remember
charming.
that it is canon to the live action world.
Yeah, that's the other amazing thing.
Yeah.
That's the other amazing thing.
Because Rick Flag is going to show up in Superman and in Peacemaker coming up. The same guy.
Honest to God, I cannot wait for Peacemaker season 2. Like, it's been 3 years, right?
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been 3 years. It was like 2021, I think, when it came out. 22?
Yeah.
22, I think. But yeah, it's been a while.
Okay, 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Almost 3 years. I'm ready. Ready. So ready. And the thing with a lot of what James Gunn does in taking things from, I mean, let's not forget, like he got to start at Trauma. He moves up. He starts doing Scooby-Doo stuff. All of his early work, even Human Z, even Super, like all of his early work is like cartoon and comics translated to fucking real life. And you see it throughout his work. Like Slither could have been a crazy comic. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So the fact that he's actually doing like cartoons now is exceptional to me. Like,
yeah, I feel like
love
he's probably always been wanting to do this kind of stuff. I mean, even I think it's like Super that has the animated intro, like dance sequence.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, and then
So-
Guardians, which we also talked about because I cheated that one year for Christmas. We had the 2 animated opening and end of the holiday special.
Exactly. So to me, it feels like it feels like everything up and this is so gay, so ridiculous. It feels like everything up to now is sort of leading to this, to him like helming a cartoon. And I think he does it well. And I think he adds these elements into his features, into his films. And I think it really works. So,
yeah, you ever see the movie? It's called The Specials. It's like a very
No.
like low key James Gunn movie, but stars Rob Lowe. Who else? Jamie Kennedy, Rob Lowe, Thomas Hayden Church.
Jamie Kennedy.
Yeah, Jamie Kennedy,
Wow.
Thomas Hayden Church, Sean Gunn, obviously, and yeah, Judy Greer, and yeah, it's called The Specials, and they are like the 5th best like superhero. They're like the D tier of like the world superheroes, and they finally have like a toy line coming out, and it's like they totally changed the toy line. Like they make Jamie Kennedy like black, like they just like make like Judy Greer's character with huge tits, and they all get. It's like there's weird like person drama. It's like all these superheroes on their day off and their drama for like that full day. It's pretty great.
oh, wait a minute. So yeah, I see it here. Jamie Kennedy is like he's like a Nightcrawler type.
Yeah.
He's got this dark blue skin. So you're saying they make his action figure black,
Yeah.
and he's like, oh, it's a problem.
Yeah,
That's hysterical.
but it's really funny.
So-
But there's no power. It's not like a superhero. Like sometimes they have powers, but it's like, it's like them dealing with their own nonsense. Like I think like Thomas Hayden Church's like wife is like banging Rob Lowe in the movie. Like it's like all this drama with in between on their day off rather than being like a superhero story.
Oh, that's good.
But you can see like
That sounds great.
you can see the style of it. I mean, Sean Gunn plays a fucking weird alien monster. Like the crew, like you can see Guardians and even Creature Commandos from watching this movie. Like the dynamic and the way they all talk to each other is like right.
I love
into it.
Sean Gunn's voice as
Oh.
the GI robot Jake. I was wanting somebody to call him Jake, and nobody yet has called him Jake, but I guess that's not until later.
But wait, so real quick, and Liz, I could talk with you about GI Robot for the next like 10 hours. But real quick, this has to be called out. Paget Brewster is in the specials, and Paget Brewster is like a national treasure. That lady is amazing in everything that she has ever done. Like Paget Brewster rules. Just saying.
Well, go watch the specials. It's no one's ever. I mean, it's a pretty low key movie. I don't think it even did anything. I don't
I've
even.
heard of it.
Yeah, now
So
I found it like years ago, just by happenstance.
So he but real quick, back to GI Robot. Like, look,
But GI is my
Gunn,
favorite.
perfect
Yeah.
for that role. Perfect for that role.
Are you a Nazi?
Are you a Nazi?
That
Are-
third episode when it busts into the Dresden dolls, and
Oh,
he realizes what the American socialists are. It's
Yeah.
pretty great.
No, that's my favorite episode actually so far. It's come out for real.
Same.
Because GI was already my favorite before that, and then getting his fun backstory, where he gets drunk. He's like, "I just want my boys." Cheers to the Tin Man.
cheers to the Tin Man. Like when he asked Flag, he's like, "Sir, are these Nazis?" You know what?
I
These
knew
are
that was
Nazis.
coming because he kept asking Flag that, and like I was actually watching it with Beans, and I was like, at some point, Rick Flag's gonna tell him, "Yeah, they're all Nazis." I didn't think it would be episode 3, but I knew it was gonna happen.
These are all Nazis. They're all Nazis. Yes, they are. And it was delightful. the joy that you see in the robot's face. There's another
Yeah.
thing I think the animators did well. Like the joy in a robot's face. Come on.
When he gets to just kill
It's kind of.
Nazis.
It was also bittersweet too because you got to see him have a friend and like him sitting with the cats and stuff, watching TV with his friend, and it's like, ah, dude, he sucks. You just don't know it yet.
They and like I know we're skipping ahead to the third one. Like the first one is basically the team coming together.
Right.
Second episode, we get the bride's backstory.
Yeah, I mean, we get a
Also-
little bride story in the first episode, but yeah, second episode's like all the bride stuff.
But when you hit that third episode, and it's just a Nazi killing robot, the ups and downs of life as a Nazi killing robot.
When he's like,
Come
he's getting
on.
interviewed like on TV. What I guess it was like what the 50s, 60s, or whatever, and he was like, "Are you a Nazi? Or all these? Have you vetted all these people?"
Sounds like
think a Nazi
sounds
would
like
say.
what a Nazi would say.
And
Come
what I found
on.
out later is that the guy that is experiment. I don't know much about this comic book team at all, but the guy that is experimenting on GI Robot is the guy who invents this group called the Metal Men, who is basically is using GI to make the Metal Men, essentially.
It makes sense. Tech for good, immediately gone. Tech for bad. Like that makes
Yeah.
so much sense. Like that works in such a good way. But like so far, it's also funny to me that weirdly the most human character is the least human character.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just wants to be
spot
with
on.
his friends and just kill Nazis.
He just wants to chill, kill Nazis. But anyway,
It was like at the beginning. I think it's like the second episode when like the fish girl or Nina is like, or maybe it is the third episode when she's like trapped in the. Yeah, it's the third one. She's in the tub or whatever, and he runs over and he was like, "Nina, you know, my sadness of not being able to kill any Nazis has been lessened by seeing your face."
It's so good. And then like so right now their relationship is arguably my favorite. We'll get to how that third episode ends
Yeah.
with GI Robot. But like so the first episode setup, second episode is a lot of
yeah, they go to that country. I don't remember what it is, but some Eastern European country.
Right. So get us to where we are. Amanda Waller. I have problems with Amanda Waller in general.
Well,
Like,
you know,
and-
she's
and-
like lying. It was actually something that Beans pointed out to me is when she's talking to Rick Flag, and she was like, "Your son died a hero." Like she's straight up lying because if you remember in Suicide Squad, he was actually going against her, and it was Peacemaker that had to kill him because of her.
Yeah.
She's straight
How
up lying.
do you like Amanda Waller also like weirdly as a character I take umbrage with. I have some issues with her just like overall. Like who like as far as putting these people together, as far as getting these groups together, all of this stuff. After I watched it the other day, which this I actually went through and watched a second time because I really enjoyed it. Amanda Waller, it showed me the very first Suicide Squad, the bad Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And then after the second time, it recommended the good Suicide Squad. How is that your job? Like, how is that a thing that anybody really signs up for? Like, how much are they genuinely paying her? Because if it's a government role, she ain't making that much.
Well, I
You
mean,
know
yeah,
what
I guess
mean?
they haven't really expanded it so much. So I just remember in the Justice League animated show with Amanda Waller, a lot of her stuff comes down to like stopping. She doesn't trust superheroes or Superman or Batman, so she's trying to like come up with contingency plans and create her own teams that can stand up against the heroes, but I don't know exactly. I don't know if that's the same with this Amanda Waller.
It's one of those things where it's like a lot, like I get that you have to have that and put it together, but it is weird that she's working with sort of the worst of the worst. You know what I mean? Or in Weasel's case, like the somewhat misunderstood.
Yeah,
Bless his heart.
we'll find out more.
I love his
next
little
week.
lies.
Oh,
yeah.
Every time he's just sitting there, like if they get in a vehicle or something and he gets in the back and he just has those little eyes just kind of
So-
going all over the place.
I don't know if you guys know this. You know, if you watch the Suicide Squad on Blu-ray and the highest definition possible, in the wide shots, you can see Weasel's tiny penis.
No way.
Like, he has the tiniest penis, and you can see it, like, slowly, like, when they're doing their group walks, you can see it. It's there.
I had no idea.
amazing.
It's like, because, I mean, obviously, it's very tiny, so you have to have, like, you know, the Blu-ray.
You have to be looking for Weasel penis,
Yeah.
is what you're saying. Like, you
Exactly.
have to be looking
But
for
it's
it.
there. Any CG, which is hilarious to me, because somebody had to, like, you know, animate that and make it.
Somebody had to think about it and be like, well, look, it is a weasel. It's a weasel. It's naked.
They
Yeah.
had dinged off.
And it's like, you know, I just think James Gunn just laughing and be like, I want to give my brother just the smallest penis.
I mean, and pockets full of money.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, here's a fucking a bunch of money. BT Dubs, your animated character has the world's tiniest penis. Whatever, bro. Thank you for the cash. Thank you for the opportunity. And then to be two voices on this. So like that's the other thing about Sean Gunn, right? And okay, so forget nepotism, forget like, oh, that's your brother, forget any of that. Like Sean Gunn on his own, fucking Gilmore Girls, what?
It was actually,
Well-
I was watching something a while ago with Sean Gunn. It talked about how he actually gets recognized more from Gilmore Girls than he does like anything else he's done.
Anything that he's done. And like him in Gilmore Girls is amazing. Like you can't like and that's the thing. It's funny because like so much is put on James Gunn, rightfully so. But in those same conversations, they're like, oh, and he brings his brother along. It's really kind of fucking diminishing to what Sean Gunn actually adds. Like Sean Gunn,
Yeah.
good at what he does. Good. Like, I swear to God, I never would have watched Gilmore Girls if it hadn't have been for Jen.
I didn't know you were a Gilmore Girls fan.
And she was watching it. And, like, I sit down, I'm watching through an episode, and I was like, holy fuck, is that Sean Gunn? She's like, yeah, he's throughout all of it. I start watching it. He's great. He's great. He's awesome. So Sean Gunn
He says
deserves...
that bought him his first house. Gilmore Girls.
You know what I mean? So, like, the fact that those two, though, but like, this is what's sort of heartwarming to me, and I get nepotism can run wild, and a lot of times, like, more so with children than necessarily
Yeah.
like siblings.
But it's not like he's also casting his brother as like fucking Superman.
No, the funniest fucking thing is he puts him largely in the stupid CG outfits that they've got to run around so you can
Yeah.
actually see his tiny penis while
Like
they're on set.
in like in Guardians, he's the Rocket, right? But
He
he's literally
gets
not as
FaceTime.
short as Rocket. So if you see the BTS, he's like literally squatting for the whole time. Like he has to like waddle and like walk on his knees.
Unless he's doing which I forget his Ravager name. But he gives
Oh,
him
Ravager,
these,
yeah.
he also gives him these roles where it's like, okay, you can be in this suit, but then you'll get a little FaceTime as this like ancillary sort of character, which is also great. But like, if you're like, oh, I know a guy that can do that. Who's that guy? My brother. Like, it's it's a weird sort of family dynamic played out on a much larger stage, and I think it's very heartwarming. I think it's very enduring, or endearing. Pardon me.
This GIF sent. I don't think it's gonna send right. Damn, it didn't work. I found the weasels. I found a GIF of Weasel walking with his dick flopping.
Ooh.
I don't think it worked. All right. Well, it's on Google.
Can
You
we
can find it.
also note how cool it is that James Gunn actually is animated as himself in the intro credits?
I was like,
this?
all right, James Gunn, I get it.
As the
Gotcha,
writer,
buddy.
Yeah,
Very
just that the
cool.
writer's typing on his laptop is the last 3 seconds, which is crazy that Ben, when we did Shitstorm is when James Gunn got fired. And
Yep.
it was like, I remember we were all making jokes like, oh, we can get James Gunn now, get him back. But then it's like that same month when we were doing the movie, that's when he signed on to Warner Brothers and then signed up for Suicide Squad. So if none of that happens, none of this happens. It's crazy. He's had this crazy comeback that now he's now he's literally this animated character and even his own show.
And it's this. What LL say? Don't call it a comeback.
Yeah.
Like, he was never gone. He's been there for years, right? And I think that's also a much larger sort of testament to person, character, all of that stuff, right? So he held some weirdly themed parties, whatever. So he made some fucking jokes on Twitter, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the second you start to crack the man, you realize that there's something vastly different there. Like there's the notion of true provocateur versus somebody who just says shit to get a rise out of people. And I think James Gunn is more one of these dudes that likes to make people think. You know what I mean? Never met him, don't know him, haven't seen him. Who knows what he does behind closed doors? I ain't here to speculate. But at the end of the day, there goes public perception. They're like, whatever.
I mean, you said, my leak earlier I was telling you about, good old Twan Burgos said that, James Gunn was amazing on set for the day that he spent. He said he felt like a kid at fucking Disney. His exact words were he felt like a Make-A-Wish kid. Superman came up to him in full costume. He said, but he also said the way James Gunn treated his crew was incredible. Right. He would be in his own bubble. He still had his, the directing bubble of Video Village. But still, in between takes, he would be out and around talking to all the crew, the grips, everyone. And then would go back into his, bubble when they're filming and have, a mic. And then he'd also do no more than 3 takes at a time.
Right. Because, oh my God. Okay, so I made Derek cry for 10 minutes straight because I thought that was funny and I felt like we were getting there. But you either get it by the 3rd take or you're going to have to deal with something you're going to have to deal with. I get that.
Yeah, the way I was told is that he would do 3 takes and then would be just have an actor loop the same dialogue over and over again. So just have them just record lines.
And then from there to get out and talk to crew, to check in with people. Yeah, that makes sense. That's what you have to do. And it's one of those deals with working with people, with other people. I know there's got to be a level of, hey, we're bringing in Hollywood people into Cleveland or wherever it was they were shooting Superman.
Yeah, Cleveland.
We're bringing people in, but we're also using locals. We've got to meet people. We've got to talk to them. We've got to make everybody feel a part of the process. You have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
But a lot of Hollywood wouldn't do it, and it's crazy. I don't know. Who knows? My good friend was there for, I wouldn't say good friend, acquaintance that I kind of know. he was there for a day, so who knows what the other days were like. But the way he described it, I was like, "Fuck."
Yeah,
And he told me he
that
never ate
makes-
any of the crafty, and I was like, "You crazy, dude? I'd be all over the crafty. That's gonna be like the
Bro,
best crafty ever."
all day, all night.
Yeah.
I would be pocketing shit.
Yeah,
to take home.
exactly.
That's it. These are my snacks for the next week. Thanks, guys. Like, I'm broke.
But to hear his sets run smooth, especially in a big movie like a Superman, is like kind of awesome, kind of a little hopeful in the grand
Yeah.
scheme of movies in Hollywood.
It is. And so, Liz, I don't know if we've talked about it the last time you were here, but I've been listening to this podcast. Me and Jem both have. It's called "What Went Wrong." Okay. Have you heard of it?
No.
It's the greatest. So it tells you about horror stories from all of these like big films, right? And it's got everything from like Jaws to like Gremlins to The Godfather, Cleopatra, like Cats, like all of these like horror stories about what sets were like. And most
Any
of,
talk about John Landis?
oh
Yeah.
It's like episode 1.
it is earlier on in the first season, and it's their first two-parter.
Yeah.
But it's one of these shows where they tell you, it gives you hope when you're making something, because then it's like, oh, well, if all these tremendous movies did this, then fuck, my little problems aren't as big as I thought they were. You know what I
Right.
mean? And it's like, or you listen to it and you're like, oh, that happened to me. I get it. I understand. It's another one of those things that gives you hope from maybe a different angle, a different perspective, so to say. It's good. It's a good show. They're not paying me. I wish they were. I wish they
Well,
were.
thank God. I guess Superman won't be on that show.
Maybe. You don't know. Like, that's the thing. John may have been there, or Juan, pardon me. Juan may have
Juan,
been there.
I don't know what John you're talking about.
I don't know. We know too many Johns. May have been there on the one good day. That's the other thing.
Yeah, I mean, so it
Was
could be
referencing the one that I met?
Yes.
probably.
Okay.
Yes. Juan Burgess.
Juan Burgess.
But all of the Superman stuff aside, you're right. We wouldn't have gotten to this point. We wouldn't be able to see sort of this creative vision through. And like, you look at a guy who does some very real like world building across everything that he's done. While in Marvel, he's had to play inside of this existing
And
world.
I like the way that he's actually talking about the new DC, where he's saying he's not building to like a story. Like, he's not doing a Marvel where they're building to like an end game. He said he's doing it more like a Star Wars, where he wants to world build everything rather than build to like a thing, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
So that's why they were
Absolutely.
getting all these other movies that he had listed. Like, I think even recently he talked about a Clayface movie that Mike Flanagan's making, which sounds fucking crazy and sick. And then it's like, yeah, you have things like Swamp Thing, and then you have Superman, then you have Supergirl, then this. It's like all these different kind of tones that like probably aren't going to like totally be connected in that kind of Marvel way, where it's like the tones kind of all like come together. Like, I think they're all going to exist pretty much their own thing, even though they're in their own worlds.
And they're all, well, they're going to exist as their own thing.
Yeah.
In roughly
world.
the same
Same world, yeah.
Yeah. And like, if those parties interact at some point, great. And if they don't, and you still just get like little hints and nuggets and drops of what's coming or what has already been, I think that's okay. Not everyone has to coincide constantly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I agree.
Well, it makes it where everything's boring. It really does.
It's like, who's
Marvel
popping?
just turned
Yeah.
into a huge shit show.
If in every movie, Doctor Strange shows up, and if in every movie he's there,
But it's also, as much as I do like the MCU Spider-Man movies, it always did bother me that I couldn't just get like a Spider-Man movie. Like, I still have to have Tony Stark in there. I still have to have Doctor Strange in
you
there.
know what I mean?
I still have to have Nick Fury
like,
in there.
yes. So
They got to make sure you're watching the other movies too.
Yeah.
They got to like make sure that you've got something to draw your interest into to whatever else they're promoting.
So and Liz, to that end, to your credit, in simply like even just voicing that to the universe, like that's the thing where I think something with a DC and with a Marvel, even though both have done like multiverse crossovers and all of this stuff, if DC plays it smart and they bring characters together for like one-offs or for like very special moments or whatever, as a fan service to those broader stories, I think
Then it feels better, Because some of the
It
times
does.
in the Marvel shit, like especially like early on, we were like, oh fuck, there's Tony Stark with like the Hulk. It's like, well, this feels like a bigger deal. And now it's like, you get fucking 5 people in a movie. So it's like, we're getting like, let's say 3 Superman movies, and then by like the third one, Batman shows up after Batman's already had 3 other movies. It's like, oh shit, like now they really are in the same world together.
then
Look
it
at this
becomes a
Penguin
thing.
show.
Oh,
How that really wasn't comic book Penguin, but it was all just kind of rolled into itself. Now we had a hint of Batman in it.
Yeah.
We had a little hint of Batman, but we didn't need him in it.
No.
But we knew he was there. Like, it's in that universe. And that's something that I hope that they continue to do with these shows, even with the animated shows. We don't need that much of a crossover to know that it's in the same universe.
No, you're
So-
totally right.
So, if you want to take it back to like the introduction of Spider-Man in that Avengers movie, whichever one it was,
It was Civil War.
Civil War, you've got 27 characters already,
Yeah.
and now you're throwing in a Spider-Man. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on. Like, you build up to an introduction. You build up to those moments without having to go back and have a fucking like prequel to show you this origin story, to show you whatever. You go back without having to whatever. You don't introduce people into those moments. You use those as big impactful things. And because Marvel had already like fuck the family dog, because they'd already done that by introducing that's how they can introduce a new character, is inside the big fight scene. It's cheap.
Well, that being said, too, I mean, in Superman, James Gunn has also announced that it's going to have, Nathan Fillion as Green Lantern. I forget the other chick playing Hawkgirl and Mr. Terrific. So it's already like 3 people somehow. I'm wondering how that's going to play out.
I do love that he pulls the same actors.
Yeah, I mean, Nathan
consistently.
Fillion is Guy
Nathan
Gardner.
Fillion, Michael Rooker, like he's
Yeah.
pulling all these folks consistently.
So he's I saw a thing not too long ago. It's maybe been a few months at this point, but I saw a thing where there were some online like shitty rags. Pardon me, some shitty like comic rags or whatever that were
The
talking
Snyder
about
fans?
James Gunn and his nepotism and the
Yeah.
way he only pulls in the same people and all this stuff. But conversely to that, they are actors. They're there to embody different roles. Their whole existence is around playing pretend. Why can't they pretend to be somebody
Yeah,
different?
Nobody says that when Scorsese hires Leo for like the 4th time.
Bobby De Niro
True.
for
Yeah.
every movie.
Yeah.
You know what
Sam
I'm
Jackson
saying?
did a Tarantino movie. They
so-
don't say shit,
it's a whole thing. So whatever. John Waters had his group. Do
The
you know
same
what I mean?
stable of friends and actors.
I'm gonna put Dwayne in a movie as long as I can.
For forever. Which that's another fun thing from Portland. I want to tell you, during Dwayne's introduction, during Dwayne's introduction to the movie, you could literally hear people talking to each other and literally being like, what is happening? Like what is transpiring? Like where are we going from this introduction? And it was tremendous because immediately Dwayne comes in, he sets a fucking tone for the movie, which it's up to us to deliver on, and thank God he gave it to us, because I couldn't have think of anybody else to open
to do
us.
it. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's one of those things where it's we fucking you look at these movies and it's like the Swamp Thing movie by itself. Okay. If they have the Phantom Stranger in it, makes sense. If Constantine shows up, 1,000 times better. Etrigan,
Yeah, I want some Etrigan.
If these folks exist in that realm of Huma, Louisiana, or wherever it is, if those folks exist there and we see them pop up, but we don't see Swampy when they pop back up, all it does for me as an audience member is it gets me fucking ready for the moment he does show up. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a way to seed. There's a way to
that's what it seems like James Gunn's doing, which is why I'm into it, And I want the DC world to be good because I'm always a DC guy. I do love Marvel movies. I'm not gonna say I don't love Marvel movies, but I'll accept it.
That I really did myself, and I'm a Marvel over, to be honest, with the exception of Batman and Swamp Thing, Gaiman's Swamp Thing. Not Gaiman's Swamp Thing. Alan Moore's Swamp Thing. Gaiman's Sandman also. Vertigo-ish.
Mark Miller's run on Swamp Thing was actually really good too.
I agree. But I'm reading comics-wise. I do love Marvel back in the day, back when I was a kid, 90s era Marvel. But with the movies, you just lose interest. I've lost interest completely. I could give a rat's ass about the next Marvel film, but I'm stoked to know that, there's somebody who gives a shit at the helm of DC now.
Yeah, for reals, because they needed it, and definitely not Zack Snyder. So,
no, bless his heart. Now I do feel sorry for Zack Snyder. That man's been through a personal hell for himself. That said, nobody needed Snyder Superman.
No.
Nobody needed Snyder Superman Batman. Nobody needed Snyder Dawn of the Dead, to be honest. Even though James Gunn was, what did he wrote that?
Yeah, he wrote it. Yeah, he wrote that and Scooby-Doo the same year.
But in
I'm
publicly
not a
Zack Snyder
fan of his artwork, but I do have a lot of sympathy for him for what he's gone through. Since I'm getting delirious right now, it's hitting right at that 9:00 hour, so I am going to exit.
All right, well, you should give us, your final thoughts. What are you gonna, what are you gonna rate it?
Final thoughts? For 3 episodes and me rushing through them even, fantastic. And I can't wait to make it through what comes of this, the rest of this, and I hope that it's stays top tier. It seems like whenever we hit a 3rd episode of a show, that we have to stick with it until the 3rd, and then it gets going. So I'm hoping that this top tier level of the 3rd episode of this one keeps it go, that momentum keeps going.
I hope so too. So would you say it's
definitely the better of the most recent animated shows that I've seen.
So would you give it a
success?
I would definitely give it a success. I would give it somewhere between a success actually and the one that I can't say.
I really enjoy coming.
Yeah, so I'd be like right there in the middle, like we're almost there.
That's
Liz
great.
says we're on the cusp. We're on the cusp of coming.
The cusp coming. There we go. I said it. That's harsh. My cat popped that comment. Was like, "What did you just do? What did you just say?"
Where
I was
are
like,
we at? What is happening?
No, yeah, I mean, so I really like the show a lot. I think the first episode's the weakest episode. I think the opening shot of it is like the worst animation they have in the show. For some reason, they open up with
Isn't
this
that wild?
like this awful, just like static wide of like wherever the prison they're in. It just looks like shit. Like it looks so bad. I'm like, this is how we're starting it. But then it obviously gets better. But it's like, what? Like I don't know. Why was that? I feel like I can see where this show is cutting corners with animation. When times where it's really good and times where it's like not.
Also, I do see some kind of weird nod to Vignola style of artwork in the way that this is drawn. So that I appreciate too.
I'm not familiar with that. Is that?
So have you ever seen or have you ever read Gotham by Gaslight?
Oh, Gotham by Gaslight. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's your style, artwork style.
Ah.
Look at that cover. Hellboy.
Ah,
okay.
I see what you're saying. I see it now.
Mhm.
I get it. No,
I
think
love
that-
y'all.
All right,
Love you.
love you too, Liz. Thank you for
I'll see y'all next time. Hopefully,
Yeah, next time.
just let me know.
You got
Yes. Always.
it. Love having you, Liz. Yeah, I guess we haven't really even talked about most of these episodes. I mean, yeah, the first episode's whatever. It was fine. It was funny. The bride backstory I actually really like a lot. I
Yeah,
love that
I'm not
Frankenstein's
gonna say
like
it.
totally in love with her, but he's like a psychopath,
Yep.
and she's been like running away from him for years. And also, isn't it not weird? So like, I guess she's in love with Frankenstein. I want to say he's Frankenstein. I mean, this show doesn't totally like just say which one, because right in the story, Frankenstein's monster is the monster. Frankenstein is the guy who makes Frank the monster. But in this show, they call the monster also Frankenstein.
Yeah.
But the actual
yeah.
dude, creator Frankenstein, I mean, he makes this chick, but then he fucks her. And it's like, but she's still looking at him.
In front of the monster,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
But it's like, what was weird to me about it, but I guess it's like consensual because she's was into it, but it's like, he basically like raised her. Like he like talked her into like, how to speak and figure out words and then fucks her.
It is desperately incestuous, James.
Yeah.
Yes. That's the word you're looking for. It
Or
is
even like just like the
desperately
weirdest kind
incestuous.
of grooming ever, like.
I mean, dude, to put it in that context is actually very, very heavy. Like, that's very heavy.
Yeah.
And you're right. You're not wrong. It is. And you see it a lot when, like, right before they get to banging, is with the mustache. With the mustache. Oh, I'm a funny mustachio man. Ooh. It's like, it's heavy. And that's the other wonderful thing about a lot of James Gunn's work, a lot about all of that, is that like he's not afraid to get heavy with stuff, which is awesome. But it's I don't feel like it's edgy for being edgy's sake.
No.
I think it's
I think he's adding like a deeper backstory to Bride. I mean, something that makes it more fucked up than like even what she's even upset about, You're a thing brought from nothing to just serve this other thing that I brought from nothing, but now like somehow I've grown very desperately attached to you. And this is what it's going to be. Now you're going to be my little, like, my little side piece. Because you said he was married with kids.
Yep. He made a real doll that he could fuck.
Yeah.
That was like an actual real doll.
Yeah. But I said I do love the backstory though, with also Frankenstein chased her, and also the dialogue and that stuff is good. I'm trying to remember the exact line where he's like, each man has a wife for his bosom, and each creature has a mate, but I have nothing. You know?
Yes, yes. It's like it gets heavy. That's the thing. Like, and that was the other thing as we move into like even the third episode with GI Robot. To me, one of like the saddest things is when you see him in that cell.
Oh yeah, time's just rusting.
It's just the days going by, and you see the sun and the moon, sun and the moon, sun and the moon.
And that song is playing too. I don't remember the name of the song, but it's really good. That's playing.
And the spider webs growing up on him. Oh my god. That's another thing that I think, and I know it comes from James Gunn. It all comes top down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It comes from him. It's the music that he puts into it. He obviously writes with song in mind. Song is as much a character.
Yeah, I love that. This show, he's like, well, we're in this Eastern European place, so I'm going to find all this weird Eastern European, like, folk punk music.
So
I wish I could. I
good,
cannot
too.
pronounce the name of this band. It's like, fuck, I'll try to say it one more time. Go Bordello. I fucking can't say it. But it's the weird, they're awesome. And, yeah, that's the band who did the American Wedding song. They're in the montage at some point. I said my buddy Will, I told you earlier, he was hanging out with them. Got to do a documentary with them. Said he DJ'd the whole rap party, the lead singer. And it was just folk punk and like polka music. And he said like everyone was livid. Like they just was bumping like hardcore.
But see, that sounds like a ball.
Yeah.
All day long. Like
Hanging out with all these drunk, like, like Ukrainians just fucking blasting polka music and folk punk.
Heaven.
Yeah.
Heaven, James. But like, and that's the other thing across his body of work is music is as much a character, and it helps put you where you need to be, like throughout. And James, like he's not. A lot of people, it's this weird healthy mix of like pop songs and things that the audience knows to put them in a mood.
Yeah.
Versus and a healthy mix of actual just scoring and real like mood music. It puts you in a really interesting spot.
That he actually does the score first. Like I know with Suicide Squad, he made the Suicide Squad theme song first. So the scenes where they're walking as a crew and you hear the theme song, he's actually playing it on set, so the actors could like walk to the beat and stuff like that. And the same thing with Superman. He made the Superman score before he made the movie.
Exceptional.
And you can hear a little bit. They put out a little bit in the teaser they put out so far for Superman. They have the score in it a little bit. It's pretty sick.
That's awesome. Like again, I love shit like that, and you can't go into a thing without knowing like every little thing about it.
I mean, we had Where Dear, right? Didn't we have the Brennan songs early on?
We had the Brennan songs very early on.
Yeah.
Like very early on. And weirdly, with the one that we're writing now, which by the way, I know this is a total aside and it's very late to bring it up in this. I have pages for you to read if Jimmy and Reeves hasn't given them to you yet, just to get a little bit of input.
Oh shit.
We have a full draft of Camp Noodaway ready to go to send out to people. So
nice.
Just saying, we're balls deep in a rewrite right now.
Balls deep in Camp Noodaway.
I shouldn't even say rewrite. This is like literally a punch up. Like the story is there, everything is there, all that we need for it is there, with the exception of you, dear James Boylan.
Me?
But you'll be there.
Yeah.
I might be able to afford you this time.
Hell yeah. If you can, afford me, I'll be there.
But anyway, like as far as this goes, like I like the characters, I like where they're going, I like the type of stories they're telling.
I really like the way the story is going. because I liked at the end of the third episode, we basically take out our villain immediately, right? We kill off GI Robot, which is crazy. I suppose I don't know. I
So
guess,
sad.
we'll see how. But I mean, it seemed like he seemed pretty dead. But then with Cersei, she's coming in about to kill the princess, which we also haven't talked about the princess at all with her and Rick
What a
Flag.
horny
Yeah.
Horny girl.
Yeah. When they're when they had to go save the bride, but then they didn't want to knock on the door where Rick Flag was boning the princess.
While Rick Flag is boning. Yep. They don't want to come in and be like, excuse me.
Oh, even before that, dude, the fight scene with Rick Flag and Phosphorus is also really good. I love that, you see him get burned, and then he has to, grab, a mitten, a oven mitten to start punching him.
And even that burns up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, at a certain point, even that burns up. We haven't even discussed the entire team. You're right, there's Phosphorus.
Yeah.
There's Nina, Weasel, Rick Flag, GI Robot. I'm missing 2, I think.
No, I think that's... it's just Phosphorus, Rick Flag, Bride, GI Robot, Nina, and then and Weasel. And then Frankenstein's also, but we haven't really got much of him yet.
Yeah. But there's I like the way they're doing the storytelling. So it's ensemble for the first episode. Then the second episode is Bride story with the ensemble being the B story.
Yeah.
Right? They're still moving the ball forward
Yeah.
with the entire team while they're going back and giving you these nuggets of history. Same thing with GI Robot.
And it
right?
seems like it's going to be the fourth episode, too, because I saw the trailer, and it's we're getting some Weasel backstory with also whatever's going on.
Cannot fucking wait. Because we've already referenced that he's a child killer.
Yeah.
Already referenced that he's a child killer and that it's no good and that it's a whole thing. And then you look at him and you're like, how could this sweet thing kill whatever? And I guarantee you it's going to be a fucked up, weird sort of backstory on him.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to try to save the children some way, but then people think he's a monster and accidentally kills them. I
cannot wait to see what I really want to see in it. And I don't know if we'll get it or not. I hope so. I hope
his tiny penis?
His tiny penis, yes. You beat me to the punch. But I want to see things through his eyes. Literally through those wonky ass fucking eyes.
Oh, that'd be sick.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Get some Weasel vision.
Weasel vision, Weasel perspective. I want to know what's going on, bro.
Yeah, but speaking of Weasel, in the movie... he was a funny character. We didn't really get to see Weasel kind of do much. So I like in this the third episode when Cersei's about to kill the princess and Weasel just fucking comes in and just annihilates her. Ripping off her, throws her through the window, ripping off her back, her hands, her face. And then Phosphorus comes in and just fucking burns the shit out of her, puts his whole palm in her face and burns it. And then Bride has a line of well, you wanted monsters, right? Because it's horrifying. There's a score to it. It's all fucking terrifying.
So good.
Yeah.
And the thing with Phosphorus too, what is it? There's that point where they're all shooting at him, and then it's just
dude, he's melting bullets, right? As he makes the shield. That's it was sick, dude.
Right. Come on, bro.
Actually, my favorite kill in that episode, because I've never seen this before in anything, is when they the dude has one of the bad guys has a grenade, and then they do a kind of slide with the van to hit into the guy, and then as they hit him, he explodes with the impact, so his body just explodes, and all his body parts just hit all the other guys.
So funny, it's funny, it's impactful, it's I thought that was pretty great too, because you see these suicide guys or these guys that'll jump on the grenade or whatever, and then you never really see kind of the aftermath of that. This gives it to you in real time.
And the way James Gunn can make it funny and then also horrifying, says exactly why he's as good as he is.
And and then to still keep your average audience member still interested.
Yeah, I mean,
Because,
now I have no idea where this story is going. Because, it's not like the Suicide Squad where they're, all right, we're going to a place to capture someone. She's like, no, this princess is going to destroy the world somehow. And, you have to let me kill her.
Exactly. And then it's like, so now in the 4th episode, are we really starting to see the evil of the princess? Was Cersei right and they killed the wrong person?
Yeah.
Was it? Do you know what I mean? It's like, where does this go? And the fact that they're all monsters is just.
I do hope we get GI back, man. GI was literally my favorite.
No, GI's coming back. 100%, James. GI's coming back. Like 100%.
I hope so.
I would bet you dollars. Like an entire $3. I would bet.
I don't know. Jameson likes to kill people off,
That is true. And in his movies, when people are dead, they're dead. They stay dead. They stay dead. But the only reason why I think GI would come back is, number one, it's more paychecks for his brother, right?
True.
Okay. Even though he does still voice Weasel.
If I had to bet, literally, if I had to bet, I guarantee you Sean Gunn gets the same paycheck for doing 2 characters.
You know what I wonder?
I feel because Weasel's had that much dialogue. I think he's GI because they want him to come in and play Weasel, but then they're like, "Well, here's a character with actual dialogue."
We're gonna kill him in episode 3, but you're gonna get the same paycheck.
Yeah,
you'll still get paid for 2 characters.
Because I'm pretty sure a lot of happens to voice actors all the time. I mean, I don't think the Simpsons actors get paid more for doing other voices.
The Simpsons actors get paid more every year.
Well, I mean that, but not they don't get paid per character. They get a salary, whatever.
Yeah, right. But that is a show. Do you know what they literally just said? This speaking of today in cartoon history. Do you know what I learned today before we fucking started recording tonight?
No.
Today marks the 35th anniversary of when The Simpsons first aired.
Holy shit. 35 years ago.
Their Christmas special. 35 years ago today.
Wow.
Bro, I
wasn't born yet.
I was 9. I was 9. You've never existed in a world pre-Simpsons.
No. That's so true.
Not only have you never existed in a world pre-Simpsons, you have never existed in a world where The Simpsons weren't making new episodes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
To me, that
never thought of it that way.
Up. That is fucked up, James. That's weird and wrong. That's the only world you've ever known.
That's true. I don't know what a Simpsons list world would be.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I can tell you. It's hard out here for us elderly.
Hey, I can say the same thing now about younger kids with Family Guy.
You've never existed in a world where Family Guy did not exist.
Yeah.
I guess maybe it's because I'm getting older. I put myself in that context a lot. I start looking at media and shit I've been looking at for a long time.
Well,
and then I'm like, when did this start existing?
So
and how old was I?
I had that same thought. It was actually when back when I was working on Flapjacks, when they announced who was playing Superman. I don't know if you know, I'll say friend of the show because he's around the Tromosphere. His name is Forrest. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
He's a good dude.
Yeah.
He's a nerd, so we're talking about Superman stuff. And he came up to me and he was like, this is the first time a Superman actor has been cast that I am older than. And I was like, really? So I Googled it. I am older than the guy playing Superman.
It's wild. It is wild when you start really looking at shit like that. You age in those moments. James.
Yeah, I was like, fuck, I'm older than Superman.
But with regard to like Creature Commandos, again, I think.
Oh man, if I'm ever older than Batman, I'm done. I don't know.
Luckily, I will always have the early Batman
Yeah.
films to not feel old. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I will always have Michael Keaton as my Bat Daddy, so to
True,
speak.
he is my bad daddy.
Fucking, but like with Creature Commandos, I think, and we may as well. I'm gonna give you my final.
Yeah, let's
thoughts, 'cause
fucking.
I've got-
Yeah, let's close it out. Let's do it.
So here's the deal with a thing like Creature Commandos, success all day. Waiting to hear it, James. Where's
Sorry,
the button?
it was muted. There you go.
Success.
Success all day. Without having seen the rest of the season, I think we're in for a really good ride. I think once again, James Gunn takes a property that not everybody knows about, not everybody is too hip to, brings them out into the forefront, and does it in a tremendous way.
Yeah, I think so too. I think
Success.
Don't play it again. But I think that's exactly. He's like strives the best at taking shit that nobody cares about and making it familiar. You know, like who the fuck is Peacemaker? You know, who's who's the Guardians of the Galaxy? You know,
right? Nothing nobody should ever care about, and then it's like, here's why you should,
and then turns it into like a fucking $1 billion franchise.
And there's the genius. It's like nobody has finessed these characters enough, but they're compelling and they're interesting. With a few tweaks, these guys are, licenses to print $1 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why he's running a fucking studio now. But I guess for me, so before I give you, because I have an answer, but before I give you like the shit that like I didn't like about it, I think, like I said, the opening shot, the animation's horrible. And I think there's a lot of times I can see where they're cheaping out on animation a lot. But other than that, like, yeah, all these characters are here. I love the way that James Gunn plays with the narrative. Episode 3, we already caught our villain. Now there's another level of where the story is going to. And I like that it's going to keep progressing in a way that's not like normal storytelling.
Right.
Yeah.
You would think Cersei would be the thing all season.
Yeah.
No.
She's not. Yeah. No. They take her out pretty much almost immediately. And I love that she's got this crew of just like fucking just white assholes who just are obsessed with her, you know?
like
just a bunch of simps.
This anti-feminist group like serving their lady god. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna actually give it a.
I really enjoy coming.
I'm gonna come hard on this show because I love it, man. I love the start of this DCU. I love that it feels like the sequel to Suicide Squad because I love that movie. And now Superman drops tomorrow. I'm just pumped, dude. I'm all in. I'm raging hard. As long as Superman kicks ass, like, let's fucking go, you know?
And bro, I am like that's the thing. And to sort of what Liz was saying earlier, like Marvel's what we've been fed, but like DC to me has always existed, even though they bring people together, it's always existed in these really interesting sort of pockets.
Yeah.
Where Marvel just everybody always seems to exist together.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what James Gunn was saying, that it said every film was going to be tonally different, and some of it's going to be for adults, some of it's not, some of it's going to be horror, some of it's going to be this. I mean, it's going to kind of like be all over the place in an interesting way, and I'm down for the world building aspect of it. Because the DC universe is so vast. I think
that's huge.
Yeah.
If we keep Metropolis
and Lanterns too. There's a Green Lantern show coming out. I think by like next year. That's gonna be fucking sick. To get like a True Detective. That's what I've heard. It's like, True Detective in space with the lanterns. Yeah.
But if you if you keep people separate long enough, if you keep their environments different, it then becomes what brings them together.
Yeah,
the
when you
catalyst for
do
them
it like
joining.
what they were doing before, we had Batman versus Superman. It's like no one gave a shit about Ben Affleck's Batman before that, and suddenly it's like, all right, now we're just here. Like here's Batman, and, here's Wonder Woman. They just threw him in there. They existed now.
It doesn't help things. It doesn't help things. But you play with it a little bit, and eventually, I don't know. And
you play with it a little bit, and eventually some stuff comes out.
Even in the comics, I think DC has always done it better as far as that goes. But,
yeah, I'm always a DC boy, and I'm excited for whatever James Gunn's got going on. So whenever that Superman trailer comes out tomorrow, fucking stoked. Also, new episode of Creature Commandos also comes out tomorrow, which is fuck yeah. And then, Ben Johnson, go watch the fucking Karate Kid trailer.
Done. Gonna do it. James, but before I watch that, what am I watching for next week?
So this is funny because we've never talked about this show actually ever, only in side conversations. But I was trying to figure out what to watch for Christmas, and since my newly subscribed to Hulu account that I have now, I noticed that Family Guy put out a holiday special this year. And we've never talked about Family Guy ever, mostly because I just don't care a lot. But I was like, why not talk about the most recent holiday special that probably sucks? But it's called The Gift of the White Guy.
The Gift of the White Guy. Oh, I cannot wait, James.
So watch, nice 20-minute Christmas special episode. Hopefully it's good.
God.
It probably will suck, but it happens.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
It's Family
And
Guy.
yeah, we never talked about Family Guy, so we finally get to hear me complain about why I don't like Family Guy anymore.
Which is wild to me that we've done this long and have yet to touch anything Family Guy.
Because I find
It's
it
even-
infuriating to watch sometimes, honestly.
It is also wild to me that this is what we're starting with is the 2024 Christmas special.
Hey, I like our weird Christmas specials. I don't go.
Bro, listen. Pac-Man with Joshua Dolan.
Yeah.
Come on.
He-Man
Yeah.
with Joshua Dolan.
He-Man with Joshua Dolan. Tell me you're calling Joshua Dolan.
Oh, I should give him a call. I could do it. I could call him.
I mean, I'm just saying. Like, it is Christmas. Feels like a thing. All right. So we've got Family Guy then. As always, you can reach out to us. We're at totally.toonular@gmail.com. And then follow the Fantasy Shed on all your socials at Fantasy Shed. Yeah, James.
There you go, Ben. You said it all for me.
I love you.
Love you too, Ben. All right, let's get the fuck out. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys, this is all Kyle's mom's fault. You guys, this is all Kyle's mom's fault. Shut up, Cartman. Kyle's mom is the one that started that damn club, and all because she's a big, fat, stupid bitch.